Alright guys, what we're going to be doing right now is heading to R&D shop. We're going to be looking at both these trailers, looking at suspension, see what kind of damage have we done so far, and compare them, see which one lasts a little bit more. Alright, see y'all there. Alright guys, I'm here with the two testing trailers here. I'm going to point out some notable differences, nothing too crazy yet, but some features that I want to do show between the two differences of these trailers. Starting off, the Equalizer, the money shot right here is, you can see where the Equalizer, the bushing for it's contacting, and you can see the dirt's coming off of it, and maybe we can get a clip of it where it contacts. Versus the competitor trailer, you can see where the actual Equalizer is hitting the frame and damage is getting done where the paint's coming off. Another thing is our if you can get here, this action here, this spring on ours, they're still retaining, while the competitor trailers, those little clips are coming off of it from the impacts and the shocks of the road. So, and as well, a little bit of the roller here, you can see the roller itself is still pretty smooth. It still has powder on it from how smooth it rides on it, instead of being abrasive and kind of, so you can see it still has dirt all over. I mean, paint and powder. It's not really rubbing off of it, so it's riding like it's supposed to, not doing any damage to the actual spring. Now let's check out the competitor trailer over here. I'm gonna start off with the most noticeable thing, the hanger. I mean the Equalizer, my bad. You can see where the damage is happening here. The powder coat is already coming off here, and here you can kind of see it. See, it's already chipping off. Well, kind of took that off. And then if you look down here, then you can see it. There's damage, and I can actually feel it with my finger where the actual Equalizer is hitting on the actual frame. And over the time, that's going to cause a lot of damage to your Equalizer, and not only that, but your frame as well. The wear mark over here in the leaf spring is starting to occur already, where it's riding, sliding, kind of deforming that leaf spring already on that Equalizer, instead of rolling like the ones that we use in the Diamond C LPT. And then, well, I mean, it's already off, so as you can see, the little bands that keeps this leaf spring together, it's already falling off here on the competitor trailer. So those are the things that we gotten so far, and it's not too crazy, but we only been testing this trailer out for 2 weeks, and there's a kind of small, minor, notable differences between these two trailers. The slipper roller suspension is hanging on pretty good, doing its job, and this one slowly is falling apart, but we need to do a little bit more testing. Obviously, we can't replicate years of damage within 2 weeks, so we're going to keep on testing these trailers out and see how they do.
What's up guys, Jeffrey Crabb back here with the Trailer Terminator to check in on the Proving Ground series. So Hernan's been out working hard on demonstrating, testing the slipper roller suspension that comes standard on our LPT, as well as all of our 7 and 8K Diamond C trailers, against a competitor's trailer that has really industry standard suspension on it. So the suspension, of course, is a key component to the longevity of your trailer, to the performance and durability, dependability of your trailer. So that's why we thought it was important to start there, to demonstrate, to explain the key differences. So, Hernan, if you can share with us kind of what you have put these trailers through so far. How did you go about loading, testing the two suspension packages on each trailer?
Well, we start off with a road test. We started off an empty, max GBWR, and overloaded by 4,000 pounds.
So you loaded them up and put them through your racetrack, your overloaded dump trailer obstacle course.
Basically, yes.
Okay, cool. So, you know, I know you guys captured a lot of GoPro footage and other footage that trying to demonstrate the differences in how the suspension was responding in those different scenarios. But I don't know that the videos explain how it felt, right? So yes. Can you tell us, as the driver and the one that was putting your life at risk in this testing, how did it feel? Like, what did you notice as the key differences?
Yes. Well, coming into the test, I knew that the empty was going to be a little bit bouncy. Obviously, the suspension is made to carry 10,000 pounds. And the Diamond C trailer, it rode pretty smooth, nothing too crazy. I kind of expected from an empty trailer. And where kind of the drastic differences came in The competitor trailer, it bounced just like the Diamond C one, but it continued to bounce for a couple yards until it basically faded out. So it's kind of like a momentum thing, and it just bounced, and eventually gave out, and it's smooth. The Diamond C one is a little bit more stable, a little bit more controlled. It hit that obstacle, that pothole, curb, whatever it was, and it basically smoothed out immediately, and then kept on running smooth. That's what I noticed. The bounce basically on an empty trailer.
Yeah, so that was unloaded. Loaded, was it the same principle or exaggerated, or how did that progress as you loaded the trailer up?
Yeah.
How did they compare?
Well, it was a big difference. Obviously, we put a 10,000 pound skid steer on it, and the shock or the bounce, the impact was a little bit more violent. I can definitely feel it on the truck, especially me driving it on the seat of the driver itself. I did feel a big difference. The bounce was a little bit more violent, more aggressive, but it's kind of the same scenario. The competitor trailer, it bounced, and it kind of continued that bounce until it evened that out. And the Diamond C is still big impact, but smooth out immediately. It's kind of a noticeable thing.
Got it. So really notable difference in the feeling when you're towing the trailer. Safety, security, stability felt better.
Yes.
Which is important, especially for a commercial trailer user that is towing this trailer around all day, every day.
Yeah.
Like that user feeling experience makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So, you know, the same things that, the same features in the suspension that cause it to be more stable are features that also cause it to be more durable long term, stronger, more durable, more dependable. So what I'd like to do now, you've got this a traditional suspension package in the back set up for us, the slipper roller in the front. I think it's important that we talk through some of the key differences that that make the slipper roller a better user experience and a better long-term value for the end user. And I think let's start with really just pointing out it's called slipper roller. So let's point out the slipper spring and roller that makes all the difference here. So they're called slipper springs, right? Because on this end, the traditional springs just has a hook instead of an eye. This end has an eye, so it bolts into the equalizer bar. This end has a hook that just slips literally as the suspension moves and the spring compresses. It just slips right here. Rides, but the traditional is slipping on steel. It's just a steel flat bar, and that's a common wear part that after a trailer's been working in the field for a year, 2 or 3, this part will basically disintegrate. I mean, it's gone.
It would eat up.
Then failures happen. So then on the slipper roller, that's again where the big difference comes in. This spring has a big old roller in it, permanent roller welded into it on a chrome coated rod. So instead of slipping, still a slipper spring with a hook on the end of it, but instead of just slipping steel on rigid steel, it is slipping, rolling on this roller. So that's a really key differentiator. What makes the slipper roller stand out from traditional suspension. This part will not wear out like this part. It will last years and years longer. And that principle is applied end to end in the suspension. So that's the kind of overall claim to fame on the slipper roller suspension is the roller itself. But there's more.
Yeah.
So if we can, Hernan, I want to ask you to kind of talk through part by part from that end back what the differences are in the hanger, springs, equalizer bars, back here to the back hanger and the rollers.
Yeah. I guess starting off, we can start off with the hangers. The standard industry uses these, I guess, hangers, and everybody uses them. I mean, we used them for a number of years, and it hasn't really been changed at all.
Right.
And they are standstill, and then they just bend them in the middle. Nothing too fancy. The slipper roller suspension is laser cut. It's a little bit better material, and it's bent a little bit better. And I believe these are thicker as well. We have a micrometer here. We're going to figure out how much thicker it is. That's 30 there. And That's 32. Yes, a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
I believe the center hanger is the same thickness, but I believe the quality is still there, metal improved. 38, and then traditional. Yeah, it's about 38. 37. Relatively close, but I believe this is better quality as well, better hardware as well.
Yeah.
The back one, I thought that's where all the money goes into. I guess you can say it, the important part. That's what, 29, and a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
32. And then not only that, but it's a lot more rigid. You only have this one little piece welded on it, and that's doing all the work. And here we have not only that, we have the roller taking care of it, but we have square tubing welded on 3 sides of it, and it's maintaining it a lot more secure, and it has a band on it that's welded both sides, just keeping it from spreading. And this, it's on, you can't spread it.
Side by side.
Yeah.
There's so much difference. It's pretty remarkable there.
Yeah, this is pretty smooth. No bearings, just was it copper coated?
Chrome coated.
Chrome coated rod inside of it. So there's no bearings that's gonna wear out anytime soon. It's just gonna keep on going for a good while. And obviously, you just can tell that's a lot better.
Yeah.
Next thing on the list, leaf springs. This is traditional leaf spring. There's nothing really much. They're not bad, but we can always improve. We have an outlet here that doesn't have any bushing, just have like plastic on it, so it doesn't be metal on metal, but there's not much difference on it. And this one, ours, the new style that's on the roller suspension, it's a bigger eye, and it has an extra rubber bushing inside of it to keep it from bouncing and shaking so much. You know, obviously that's kind of gonna be a noticeable difference. Another thing is thickness of the leaf spring. We do have the leaf spring that's a little bit thicker, and we're going to show the difference here. We're going to measure these 2 first leaf springs. That's 71, and that's 90. So yeah, this pack is a little bit thicker than ours.
So we're starting to absorb that vibration, that bouncing you're talking about. We're starting to absorb it here.
Yeah, that starts there.
Key difference. Goes on throughout the rest of the system, but
yes,
big difference starting with the first hanger bolt. We're absorbing that vibration.
Sorry, from the very front, we are starting better than the other one. Another thing is, these leaf springs, our packs come shackled compared to the industry standard that doesn't. So when you're turning, you got to have your load, and you're making a sharp turn with your trailer, your axle's kind of twisting to the side, and it's going to keep it a little bit more secure and in place. These nice little shackles here. So it's already on leaf springs, it's already starting off good. Next in is going to be our equalizers. Equalizers, that's where all the technology and basically the comfort of the ride goes. As you can see, the center our equalizer kind of towers over the industry standard. It's a little bit bigger, a noticeable difference. I'm going to pick on this one first. Pretty simple. Just stamped material. Let's bend it over. It has a pivoting joint in the inside of it. It's kind of almost like a bearing, and then has the raw material where the leaf spring is going to ride on. So that's basically it. Nothing too crazy. Very simple. So like that, like I said, been unchanged in the industry for many years, and it was time for a drastic change.
Yeah.
Now we have
the drastic change.
The Lippert roller suspension. As you can see, it has a big old bushing in the inside. It's going to keep it from riding and bouncing so much. It's going to absorb all that shock. And then on the inside, its built quality is a lot stronger. A lot more rigid construction on it. We have our centerpiece here where the bushing is mounted to. We have the roller itself that's welded to it. And then we have this band on the top. And man, it's a...
well, you can see the inside of it.
Yeah. Look at that.
A lot of difference there.
Yes, and I do believe the thickness is this is thicker as well. Let's double check that right quick. Here's our standard 24. Let me get that a little bit straighter. And then here's the slipper roller suspension. Yep, a little bit thicker, but it's more heftier. If you would carry this, there's a noticeable difference. Another important thing that I believe is these dampers on the top. It kind of prevents kind of the trailer or the actual equalizer to hit the frame of the trailer and kind of giving it a little bit more chance to last and stuff like that. So big difference. I mean, you want this roller just from right on the leaf spring a little bit longer, and then you have your rear one doing this same thing in the back. So the leaves are doing their job and they last a lot longer. They won't eventually eat up that material that there is metal on metal. It's not a smart way to do it. I'm surprised it's been like this in the industry for that long. It's metal on metal, and with this heavy loads that people are carrying, it's gonna eat up that material that's there.
Yeah. So a lot of times damage in suspension damage is caused by shock load, and that's really where these dampeners come in. The traditional suspension, you hit a pothole loaded heavy, and it will bottom out against the frame of the trailer. And it's just slamming steel on steel with no bushings, no rubber, nothing to absorb that load, absorb that shock. And that's where these dampeners come into play. And I think that's a really key part of why you actually felt a ride quality difference is rubber bushings throughout, rollers instead of rigid steel on steel, and then these dampeners on top of the equalizer bars. All that adds up to be a total package that's just much more durable, high quality, professional, commercial grade. It's going to last longer, be more dependable, and feel better in the process, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And driver's going to definitely notice the change between the standard and the stripper roller once they try it out.
Yeah. Cool. So that's all those little details are why we chose to go ahead and make the upgrade, take the plunge, make the upgrade, and make it standard on all of our 7 and 8K trailers, because our customers are really depending on us for long-term dependability, performance, better than ordinary performance. And this is just that. This is extraordinary performance compared to very ordinary performance.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
I feel like it doesn't matter who you are, what brand you ride, you definitely want the Leopard on your trailer.
Awesome. Okay, well, thanks for walking us through your experience so far in testing out these suspension packages. As we have talked enough for today. So as we said on the last video, less talk, more action. Let's get back to it. Thanks, sir.